A son who heeds his father's discipline is wise, but a scoffer doesn't listen to rebuke. A good man enjoys good as a result of what he says, but the essence of treacherous is violence. He who guards his mouth preserves his life, but one who talks too much comes to ruin. The lazy person wants but doesn't have. The diligent gets their desires filled. A righteous person hates lying, but the wicked is vile and disgraceful. Righteousness protects him whose way is honest, but wickedness brings down the sinner. There are those with nothing who pretend they are rich, also those with great wealth who pretend they are poor. The rich man may have to ransom his life, but a poor man gets no threats. The light of the righteous shines joyfully, but the lamp of the wicked will be extinguished. Insolence produces only strife, but wisdom is found with those who take advice. Wealth gotten by worthless means dwindles away, but he who amasses it by hard work will increase it. Hope deferred makes the heart sick, but desire fulfilled is a tree of life. He who despises a word will suffer for it, but he who respects a command will be rewarded. The teaching of a wise man is a fountain of life, enabling one to avoid deadly traps. Good common sense produces grace, but for the way of the treacherous is rough. Every cautious person acts with knowledge, but the fool parades his folly. A wicked messenger falls into evil, but a faithful envoy brings healing. Poverty and shame are for him who won't be taught, but he who heeds reproof will be honored. Desire fulfilled is sweet to the soul, but turning away from evil is abhorrent to fools. He who walks with the wise will become wise, but the companion of fools will suffer. Evil pursues sinners, but prosperity will reward the righteous. A good man leaves an inheritance to his grandchildren, but the wealth of a sinner is stored up for the righteous. The fields of the poor may yield much food, but some are swept away because of injustice. He who fails to use a stick hates his son, but he who loves him is careful to discipline him. The righteous person eats his fill, but the belly of the wicked is empty. Every wise woman builds up her home, but a foolish one tears it down with her own hands. A person with upright conduct fears Yahweh, but a person who is devious scorns him. From the mouth of fools sprouts pride, but the lips of the wise protect them. Where there are no oxen, the stalls are clean, but much is produced by the strength of an ox. An honest witness will not lie, but a false witness lies with every breath. A scoffer seeks wisdom in vain, but knowledge comes easy to someone with discernment. Keep clear of a fool, for you won't hear a sensible word from him. The wisdom of the cautious makes him know where he is going, but the folly of fools misleads them. Guilt offerings make a mockery of fools, but among the upright there is goodwill. The heart knows its own bitterness, and no stranger can share its joy. The house of the wicked will be destroyed, but the tent of the upright will flourish. There can be a way which seems right to a person, but at its end are the ways of death. Even in laughter the heart can be sad, and joy may end in sorrow. A backslider is filled up with his own ways, but a good person gets satisfaction from himself. One who doesn't think believes every word, but the cautious understands his steps. A wise person fears and turns away from evil, but a fool is reckless and overconfident. He who is quick-tempered does stupid things, and one who does vile things is hated. Thoughtless people inherit folly, but the cautious are crowned with knowledge. The evil bow down before the good, and the wicked at the gates of the righteous. The poor are disliked even by their peers, but the rich have many friends. He who despises his fellow sins, but he who shows compassion to the humble is happy. Won't those who plot evil go astray? But grace and truth are for those who plan good. In all work there is profit, but mere talk produces only poverty. The crown of the wise is their riches, but the folly of the fools is just that, folly. A truthful witness saves lives, but a liar misdirects judgment. The fear of Yahweh is powerful security. For his children, there will be a place of refuge. The fear of Yahweh is a fountain of life, enabling one to avoid deadly traps. A king's glory lies in having many subjects. If the prince's people are few, it is his ruin. Being slow to anger goes with great understanding. Being quick-tempered makes folly still worse. A tranquil mind gives health to the body, but envy rots its bones. The oppressor of the poor insults his maker, but he who is kind to the needy honors him. The wicked are brought down by their wrongdoing, but the righteous can be confident even at death. Wisdom is at rest in a person with discernment, but in fools it has to call attention to itself. Righteousness makes a nation great, but sin degrades any people. A king shows favor to a servant with good sense, but his wrath strikes one who shames him. A gentle response deflects fury, but a harsh word makes tempers rise. The tongue of the wise presents knowledge well, but the mouth of a fool spews out folly. The eyes of Yahweh are everywhere, watching the evil and the good. A soothing tongue is a tree of life, but when it twists things, it breaks the spirit. A fool despises his father's discipline, but he who heeds warning is prudent. The home of the righteous is a storehouse of treasure, but the earnings of the wicked bring trouble. The lips of the wise spread knowledge, not so the hearts of fools. Yahweh detests the sacrifices of the wicked, but delights in the prayers of the upright. Yahweh detests the way of the wicked, but loves anyone who pursues righteousness. Discipline is severe for the one who leaves the way, and whoever can't stand correction will die. Sheol and Abaddon lie open to Yahweh. So how much more people's hearts? A scorner does not like being corrected. He won't go to the wise for advice. A glad heart makes a face happy, but headache breaks the spirit. The mind of the person with discernment seeks knowledge, but the mouth of the fool feeds on folly. For the poor every day is hard, but the good-hearted have a perpetual feast. Better little with the fear of Yahweh than great wealth coupled with worry. Better a vegetable dinner with love than a stall-fatted calf, than a stall-fatted oxen with hate. Hot-tempered people stir up strife, but patient people quiet quarrels. The lazy person's way seems overgrown by thorns, but the path of the upright is a level highway. A wise son is a joy to his father, and only a fool despises his mother. Folly appeals to one who lacks sense, but a person of discernment goes straight ahead. Without deliberation, plans go wrong, but with many advisors they succeed. People take pleasure in anything they say, but a word at the right time, how good is it? For the prudent, the path of life go upward. Thus, he avoids Sheol below. Yahweh will pull down the houses of the proud, but preserves intact the widow's boundaries. Yahweh detests plans to do evil, but kind words are pure. The greedy for gain bring trouble to his home, but he who hates bribes will live. The mind of the righteous thinks before speaking, but the mouth of the wicked spews out evil stuff. Yahweh is far from the wicked, but he listens to the prayer of the righteous. A cheerful glance brings joy to the heart, and good news invigorates the bones. He who heeds life-giving correction will be at home in the company of the wise. He who spurns discipline detests himself, but he who listens to correction grows in understanding. The discipline of wisdom is the fear of Yahweh, so before being honored, a person must be humble.